Back for today's typical day in history for May 15th. And I don't know about you guys, but I love weird old-timey baseball stories. And I got a couple here with a good one at the end that means a lot to my family. So first one, 1862, the first ever baseball enclosure would open at the Union Grounds in Brooklyn, largely considered one of the first baseball stadiums in America. Most of the time, baseball was just kind of played out in an open field. 1906, the New York Giants pitcher George Hooks Wiltz strikes out 4 Reds batters in 1 inning on a drop third strike at a game in Cincinnati. 1912, one of the wildest one, Ty Cobb, who just is getting it from a fan, finally gets to the breaking point and charges into the stands against the New York Highlanders, who would become the Yankees, beats the living daylights out of this fan, and then is suspended by Major League Baseball after that. 1918, Walter Johnson pitches a 1-0 shutout for the Washington Senators. Nothing too crazy for Walter Johnson, one of the best pitchers of the time. However, he went all 18 innings of this game. He essentially pitched 2 games back-to-back and picked up the win. A year later, 1919, the Cincinnati Reds and the Brooklyn Robins head into the top of the 13th, tied at 0. Cincinnati hangs a 10 spot in the top of the 13th to beat the Brooklyn Robins. And last but not least, my favorite one, 1938, not even a weird story, but Buck O'Neil would make his debut in the Negro Leagues playing for the Kansas City Monarchs. Buck would end up playing from 1937 all the way to 1955. Very much remembered for becoming a scout for the Cubs and signing Hall of Fame players like Lou Brock and a ton of other really good Cubs players. He's actually in the Cubs Hall of Fame as well, and later in his life he spent a lot of times around the Cubs. My uncle actually got to know Buck O'Neil pretty well and has lots of photos and some signed memorabilia from getting to know him over the years. So that is it for baseball history pre-1950 for May 15th.